Alireza Firouzja has been absolutely killing it in the Blitz portion of this St. Louis Rapid and Blitz. So in day one of the Blitz, it was day 4 of the overall thing, he just destroyed the field. Only Nakamura had a similar amount of wins and draws. Naka actually was a half point ahead of Alireza on the Blitz part of the day. Now this is one of the games that Alireza played. It's against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Alireza has white here and he just absolutely destroys him. Let's see what happened. So Alireza kicks off with c4, Jan goes e5, and so we have a Sicilian defence on the board but with colours reversed. And Alireza plays it just like that now. So he goes d3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c6, and now he goes a3. And if you imagine he's playing a Najdorf but with the black colour, then this is how he's playing now. So d5 played, takes, knight recaptures, and now e4. So often we see this classic pawn break in the Najdorf structure. It kicks the knight away, and yes, you've got a backwards pawn, but you've gained space, you get free and easy development, and if you can get d4 at the right moment, or d5 with colours reversed, then you'll have a very good game usually. So bishop e2 played, bishop e7, both players castled, bishop e3, and now Jan gets aggressive, he goes pawn to f5. So it does open up his king here, but he gains some space. So okay, you give a bit, you gain a bit. Did I say that right? Anyway, when you run this with the engine, it actually wants to take here. And this is a playable line. Bishop recaptures. Although this looks a bit ugly, this pawn could also be weak. And okay, the game goes on. You could have something like this. The knight pivots to e4. You've got the rook c1 stuff coming, knight c5. This is one of the thematic ideas because white also gets pressure here in compensation for this pawn. But Alireza didn't take on f5, he instead went b4. He leaves that tension, and Jan should maintain it for a few more moves. You know, king h8 maybe, bishop e6, top moves here. But he goes f4 immediately, looks very aggressive, but after the bishop drops back, it's rerouting round to here, and white now has all sorts of d4 ideas in the air that could just blow up the position for the bishops and against this king here. So a6 was now played by Jan, a bit tentative really. You know, a5 was a bit better there, immediately putting a question to these pawns. He never actually achieves this knight d4 move, which is very desirable. So bishop b2 from Alireza pressures this pawn, bishop f6 covers, this knight develops, and one of the ideas for this knight is now b3, c5. The rook's coming here, you know, very free and easy play for white, just what you want in a blitz game. And Jan now gets very aggressive, pawn to g5. But it's almost like he then backs out of it. So he goes g5, Alireza goes h3, but he doesn't then go g4, and he never really achieves h5, g4 either. He doesn't get that storm going, and so he's really then weakening his king position. Now after h3, if you do go g4 by the way, well white can take, bishop takes, looks kind of scary, black's got space and pieces in your kind of enemy position, but you can kind of unravel like this, and eventually you get d4 here. And by the way, this knight d7, this is a problem piece for black. You know, where is it actually jumping to from here? So at some point black really needs to reroute that knight. None of the pieces really work together for Jan in this game. So anyway, we didn't have g4 from Jan. He goes bishop e6. Now rook c1, queen d6. The computer hates this move, but it's so hard to kind of unravel the black pieces. Knight b3 from Alireza. And now this rook comes to the d file. Again, really, it should sit on the e file when you run this with the engines. Give some more support to the pawn here. Preempt d4. Knight c5 now from Alireza. The bishop dropped back, covered this pawn, rook e1 from Alireza, simple move, and it kind of plays against stuff like knight d4. You know, if ever you change the pawn structure, say you take with bishop or knight there, well then there's all sorts of stuff like this in the air, you know, captures, knight takes, queen takes, bishop f3, bishop g4, there's different kind of ideas here when you're clicking around. But for the sake of a pawn, white just really starts opening up the position. The king is getting cut to shreds. So it's just very hard for Jan to find good plans here. So after rook e1, he now goes h6. And like I said, it's just very tentative. But if you go h5, well, that pawn could even become weak soon. White does have this nice battery lined up over here. So we had queen c2 now from Alireza. And now look at the clock times. So Jan's got 4.5 here. After this move, he's down to 1.5 minutes. He used 3 minutes in a blitz game here, but it's because his position is just so hard to play. I mean, the top engine move here is knight d4, but it's such an ugly move. You can take, and then the problem is this e5 break. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, and you've got this queen f3 stuff I was showing earlier, bishop f3 rather. Queen goes, then you can take here. It's just awful for black. The whole thing's collapsing. So it's really hard to know what to play. Jan goes a5. There's his time just gone. He's down to 1:30. Alireza takes, knight recaptures, and now bang, pawn d4. This is the break we've been waiting for. And Jan doesn't capture, but if you do, again, there's all of that e5 stuff that I just showed. So instead he goes knight c6. Alireza kicks on with d5. I mean, look at this monstrous position. The knight drops back, and now very simple move, knight d3. You attack here with your queen and rook, and you also hit this pawn 3 times with the minor pieces. So the black position is crumbling. c6 was played. Alireza takes, and Jan doesn't even recapture. He just goes bishop e6, desperate to generate some play, develop some pieces. Alireza chops here. Now the pawn was recaptured, and he goes bishop d4, pressuring this knight. The queen covers, and now he crashes through here. So the bishop took on d4. Knight recaptures. Look at Jan's time. He's down to 10 seconds. Alireza's got 1:30. This is horrible. The bishop's attacked. We had rook d6 to cover, but that runs straight into e5. You have to give an exchange. Knight recaptures. Knight f5 now played, but Alireza simply goes queen to c5, improving his queen, pressuring this knight. The king nudged up to g7, and now knight d4. Just a killer move here, because this one's attacked, you're threatening to take with check. So if you do this, for example, well, we take here with check, we win a minor piece, win back the queen. If instead you do what Jan did, which is move the queen away from the attack, well, now Alireza simply takes here with check, and here Jan resigned. If you recapture, well, your knight on b6 is dropping off, and there was nothing black could do. There were too many loose pieces. So an absolute crush from Alireza. Jan just weakened that king and never could come back after that. I hope you enjoyed this game. Here's the final standings on screen, by the way, and if you want to see another amazing crush from Alireza, click here. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.